visit some brother out on my call. This is the moment you're meant to know.
Hello, my sunflowers. How are you? Well, I hope everything with you is wonderful. I hope you're having a glorious day. I'm going to read on Usher, but I'm going to read on him off the cuff. In other words, I didn't, sometimes when I read, I just like to know a little bit about their background. But at the end of it, I always like to do an outcome card. That's just the way I like to read. Now it's easier. I don't have to keep asking baby Crone questions. I just do an overall outcome, which tells everything. Now, this is what I know about Usher. As you know, we're coming near of the Diddy files.
Yes.
We're coming near. You know, we want to be doing it. We're just trying to figure. I want to go live on. I don't know. The trials are going to be on Friday, I think. I don't know when, but I do, and I'm going to put a commercial out. I just don't know. Maybe Saturday. No. Maybe we could do them. I just would like people to show up, and people are busy on Saturdays, but that's okay. We're used to it. We could just go live on Saturday evening or mid. I don't know. We're still trying to figure it out. Or we could go live on Friday. So I don't know if I put a day out that we're going to do it, and that's once a month. So I think maybe Friday.
Okay.
Friday, and we'll put a video out. Let's say Friday, and we'll just go live like around about what time you get out of school, and it'll be coming near the end of it anyway. So this is going to be a summer fiasco. I call it a fiasco because it's going to be something. It's going to be. I'm excited. They releasing names to the people that was at the thing, but nevertheless, I don't know who's going to be called to trial. So let's say Friday at. Let's say Friday, we could do a reading about 5 or 6 o'clock. But when we do the commercial, we'll have it all out there for you. So it'll be live. We're just going to talk about the case, what we know, and people can be free to call in. We're going to put the alarm out very shortly. And with that being said, so let's just get into it. So this is what I know off of the cuff. Off the cuff, I know that Usher stayed with him when he was about 13 or so years old. There was allegedly that Diddy put him in the hospital because of the act of sodomy.
Okay.
These things are alleged. I wasn't there. And also Justin Bieber was given over to Usher when he got older. And Usher gave him over to Diddy, and whatever. If you know anything, just be a Budinsky.
Okay.
And so, from what I understand, I am going to do a reading on Justin Bieber, but Baby Crone just did one, so I'm just letting that die down a little bit, and then I'm going to do a reading on Justin Bieber. This has already been slated to happen.
It has.
But like I said, I have to be moved, just like spontaneously Usher. So anyway. This is so much random and so much information. And I wasn't there. Just the fact that they both were had by Diddy. And from what I understand about Justin, he even cut friends with Usher. Yes. So he's been cutting people with a lot. I don't know. It's alleged that Usher got herpes years ago, paid off the person, and it's not a gross thing. I mean, somebody gave it to him, and it could have been the diddler. I don't know. But when I think of both, this is reading about Usher, but when I think about Usher being in that environment at such a young age, being taken advantage of, whether it's mentally, physically, or spiritually, it is still a sad case. I feel as though, and maybe his mother might fight tooth and nail. I just feel as though what we do for fame and fortune. It is easy for me to sit back and say, it wouldn't be me. I wouldn't let my daughter, but if somebody offering me millions of dollars and I want my son to be famous, I want my daughter to be famous, maybe I would fall in that category. Yeah. But If my daughter cried out to me, I would be whatever I got to do to come there and rescue her. That's facts. That's facts. If she act like everything is okay, I don't know. It would just be a hard time. And let me tell you what I mean before I go into my reading.
Okay.
I feel as though this is going to be a bumpy read. I'm going to tell you what I see. But like I said, this is not something that I orchestrated. This is just me reading off the cuff. I just feel as though this is going to be a bumpy read. I feel that way, but we will see. That's just my intuitiveness saying we're ready to get into it. And let's see what the card said. But like I said, my daughter right now is getting ready to go away for the weekend because she's getting ready to get her degree, and she's going away. And even now I'm treating her like a baby, and she's a grown woman, right? So I know that just would never fly with me. But the things we do, the things we do for fame,
yes,
and money, and it's easy to sit back and say it wouldn't be me. Okay.
Yeah, that's where the temptation comes.
Temptation. That's right, baby. Temptation. We're tempted all the day long. We are all like sheep led to the slaughter. We don't know what's going to become us. We just get up every day and we hope for this and we plan for that and we look out for this, but we don't know what's going to happen. Every day we get up, something good or something bad could happen. I feel as though by the system and those people was involved, I feel as though he was a very, very young boy. He wasn't even a man. And I feel as though being in the clutches of Diddy, I think he experienced some things. And I think that Usher has been gracious about all of it.
Yes.
And no matter what, sometimes when we are taken advantage of, we take advantage of others, and if anything conspired with that, that's what I think it is. But let's see what the cards say. This is on Usher. Usher. I think they shuffle good. Usher, 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 Usher. Usher, Usher. Usher, what do you got to say? You say. And what do you got to show? You show. Usher. Already, I told you, already we see regret. Already we see emotions. We see, what is that? The number five. Right. We see already regret. We already see friction. We already see it. It's right there in our face. And this is the cloak he wears. And maybe this is why it could affect his relationship, because he seems like a very sensitive man, and this is also someone who has a lot of secrets. And that's what that black does. That black hides secrets.
It does.
To my left, didn't I tell you, I see the death card, regret. And when I think of the death card showing up in his past, that lets me know so many things that has been buried, so many things that he has not said, nor want to say, nor utter from his mouth. But there is an emerging, but that emerging still, even though he's emerged, he still had that darkness, that his soul isn't right. I feel so strongly, and that death is towards him, and I saw somewhere that the death card is facing him as he's facing it, but he's looking down out of shame and regret. And also, I also get that, I get this feeling like he feels threatened. Like, if I do speak, are they going to take my life?
Also, he's a Libra.
That's a balancing of the scales, which and keeping death at bay. I can't imagine being able to be stifled and you're speaking because you're afraid that somebody is going to take your life. And Diddy is a powerful man, and how they do it, I don't know. But that's what I see, because the death card, you can show them both facing each other, baby card. And as you can see, the death card is coming towards him. But That could just be something he feels within inside himself, like being free from this. May if I dump, if I say what's on my mind, if I say everything, it might cost me my life. I'm getting that kind of vibe. I'm not saying that's what it is, but I have to trust what I feel, and what I feel is that. But also, I also see a transformation. I definitely see that he wants to rise up above it, but I definitely see fear and trepidation and regret and remorse. To have to live with your secrets. It must be awful. Above him is the sword. I can't help but when I see that sword and I see that victory wreath, I have to think that that is somebody who's ready to speak truth, that's ready to come clean, that's ready to share as much as they can share without sabotaging themselves. That is what I feel with that. You know, a new beginning and that, and speaking truth and being able to come clean on the foundation. Oh, we got another sword.
Yes.
So here we have two things. We have a mental sword. Mental meaning I want to come clean. I want to, you know, because the swords are like frequencies and they're thoughts and they're powerful, but all at the same time, this element, speaking truth, you can score. Speaking the truth, it's like setting the earth on fire, because we see beneath him is that creative force, that energy, that fire. So we see them which are in the high heavens. I think that he needs a purging. I feel as though he wants to come clean. I feel like he wants to say, but he's blocked by that death card.
Yep.
Did I not? Here again, this is mental. Here we go again. Right now we have two major arcanas, and this here, and this is in his past. So in this past, this brother done seen a lot, done experienced a lot, and he's sitting on it like a pile keg, ready to erupt, ready to say this haunts him, this bothers him, but yet feeling like loyalty to this, loyalty to that, loyalty to this, and yet loyalty. And yet it's like, the best way I can say it, it's like it's eating him up alive. Like it's really troublesome for him to walk around knowing, but don't want to say anything out of fear or out of regret or out of this could cost me my life. That must be awful. This is just what I'm getting. Also, here's another one. Did I not call it before I laid these cards out?
You did.
In the past, it's a seeker. He's seeking inner peace. He doesn't have no peace at all. It's like his life, oh my goodness. It's like his past life precedes him today. It's like he got all that inside, trying to keep a good front. What he experienced, what happened between him and Justin Bieber. This is a lot. And it's eating and tugging away at him. And even though he has paid karma for some of the things, it's just eating at him. His past is marching towards him. He's like his dreams, his inner thoughts. It's like he's in phases. He go through phases of doubt, phases of sadness, phases of confusion. You could see the natures of him. You could see the animalistic nature of him. You could see the dog. You could see the wolf. You could see those energies within himself warring against him. And out of the water come the lobster. What is it? You see behind him a gateway. What is that gateway? That gateway where he's like stuck in between yesterday and today. My God, he is going through something. No matter how much of a great performer he is, his past is still eating him up alive, and he has much regret on the side, but he works hard. And, you can show the cards, baby, if I haven't shown them. He works hard, and so therefore he works to mass. Money don't fix it, but he works because he loves performing. But that's where he gets to express himself. That's where he gets to give love or give back to the earth. It's just but his past.
It's the past.
It's the past right here is where I'm stuck. But you can see here that he works. And even though he works hard. And what did you say that card was that I like, baby Crone?
Oh, that it represents reflecting over his achievements.
Yeah, so he's reflecting how he got here, the cost of fame, what he had to sacrifice for this cost, which is costly.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
So, but when I look into his future, again, we see a man that is conflicted, looking at how he got there, what he's got there. Here you also see the king of cups wanting to do the right thing, feeling compelled to do the right thing, but feeling limited by your past, knowing what you know, knowing what you understand, and he knows a lot. He knows a lot. He knows a lot. By him also being a victim, he understands a lot about Justin Bieber too.
Yes.
All of these things are haunting him with regret. But he was a kid, and it's like, but you know what? Just because you are a kid, does that mean that you off the hook?
That's a good point.
You know, does that mean? But yet we see the Empress, and that could be a silver lining. Maybe all of this, maybe he'll be able to speak the truth and feel safe and share what he knows. What he know is plenty. Believe that the cards are showing it, because here we see the seeker, and that seeker is out to seek and to find and to share. But he feels like, I feel as though with him that his mouth is wired shut, that it's like he's stuck in speaking the truth. But he knows a lot, he understands a lot, but he's a man now, and yet his past precedes him.
Yes.
I'm going to do an outcome read. Outside I see pentacles, and I think that he chooses his career over the truth. In other words, I don't think because it showed up here, I don't think he's ready. I think he wants to be relieved, and I think he wants to be it, but I think his career, what he worked so hard, I don't think he wants to damage his career. So right now, his career is keeping him. He done built a name for himself. He has suffered. You know, he know a lot. The cards are definitely saying that. So, but all at the same time, he don't work for this lucrative career, and he's not willing to give it up. Mm-hmm. So we'll see how all is paying out. Baby Cone, get me a card. Okay. So I do see the Ace of Pentacles, and in retrospect,
just an outcome to see.
Yes. All aces are good cards. All aces are beginning for you to reflect, to relook, and to make some decisions. But they can be a negative too, because they can be flipped upside down. And what I see here, he got 3 aces. So it's like he's being compelled to tell the truth. Mm-hmm. But will he? Or will he look at his career and say, I don't want to damage my career. I worked too hard at it to go back in my past. And even though his past haunts him and precedes him, he's not totally on board. But there is a part of him that definitely feel regret and remorse, and that he wants to speak. And maybe he will. Only time would reveal. What do you have over there, baby?
Today the elements are hot because the air card came out. And he's mentally, a Libra.
He holds it together, mm-hmm. but he's not honest. It's a lot of stuff that he probably don't want to remember. It's a lot of stuff he don't want to say because it would damage his career. And even though he's a kid, we in these United States of America, we can become very unforgiving and very judgmental. But when I see that he came in this as a boy, as a young man, and taken advantage of by older men. Yes. I think he was exposed to some things. I think that he was messed with. I think that I really do, and I feel as though this has stunted his mental growth, and I feel as though he all he have right now is that is solid, and that is his career, and that he works at it, and that he just love performing because he can find peace in it, and he sacrificed much to be famous.
That is true.
He sacrificed much, and that thing with him and Justin. That's all a part of the past. Will he come clean? I don't know. Is there one word on there that could just...
movement or a reform?
Yeah, I do see that he wants to change. But a changing means you got to speak the truth.
Yeah.
And speaking the truth could damage his career. And I don't think that he's ready to do that. Baby Clone, what do you see?
Yeah, honestly, I love the fact that the three aces came out. That really shows that he desperately wants a
Peace.
Peace. Creatively, mentally, and physically.
Yes.
Or spiritually, physically, mentally. The Holy Trinity right there. And then we see in his past where all the major arcana cards are concentrated, shows that his past really has
it's darkness around it. Yes, his past.
Yes.
His
the
past.
Hermit and the Moon together, paired with the Death card. Those are heavy cards to have together.
Very, very. And in the middle, in his present, you see above him, this is mental, a sword. That means mental. So mentally, he's struggling with this. You see here below him, fire. He's burning with this. So you see the conflict in the elements. He's conflicted, but his career, I don't know. And then right there in the middle, we see the pentacles, those feelings, all of those things that he has to deal with that's got him trapped. But it's like, if I do this, it's going to ruin my career. And I can't. It's like, for me, regret. Here is even that. And I see regret. And even right here, you just see that he's tormented by it. He's tormented. And it's like, my career means everything to me. All of this for a career. And at the end of the day, to be faced throughout, to speak. Will it cost me my life or will it cost me my career? And he is stuck in the middle of these aces. And right there, that ace of swords is above his head. So he is conflicted. Can you imagine like a knife just stabbing you in your head because you know, but you're like, maybe you sworn to not tell.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say.
Sworn to secrecy. Whatever he is, but yet death is looking at you and saying, today you can turn over a new leaf. Today you can come clean, but you don't because you are afraid of the outcome. And that is his career. And isn't it funny that it ends with her and me with this earth card saying, my career. My career. I worked too hard for it. I gave up so much for it. He stopped. And that tells us what kind of character he is. Is he self-centered?
Sure.
Is he ready to just speak? We don't know.
You know, that is one thing about the Libras, because they represent symbolizing justice and balance.
Yes.
But usually it's a balance to try to people please and make sure everybody else is okay instead of overlooking yourself.
And that's where he's at, right? And that's what I see. And also my career. It's like, it's been lucrative, you know. And in this card, I'm just going to say it. I could be wrong. I definitely see, this is what's hitting on me, so I have to say it. I definitely see some homosexual tendencies here. I don't want to say it, but it's an undercurrent. In other words, it's at the base, it's at the bottom, and he could be dealing with that too. I definitely see that. I definitely see that. I see this as the Empress, very feminine, very strong. This doesn't come off as masculine at all. Yes, baby, calm.
Yes, I would just like to say it's very ironic that you just happened to lit tuberose and we're doing a reading on Usher.
Right. And I definitely see very feminine energy here, and even homosexuality that he may have struggled with, or maybe not. But I definitely see some kind of sexual activity. That's what I get.
Influence him. You know, that touched on my question. I was wondering, because I was
you have a question?
Yes and no. My question is, I was wondering if his past being affected sexually with Diddy,
definitely,
if that made him somebody who's highly sexed.
Yeah,
because
it
we
could have
see
been
on his tour, he's
and
always a bit sexual.
Yes. And as you can see, but we don't know if it's phony. He could just be putting it on for the women. You know, he's been married a couple of times. And so here, when I see this Emperor, this is all feminine. This is feminine energy. and I definitely see that feminine energy showing up at the base. So it's at the base. This is something that he deals with, something that he struggles with. And I believe it's all due to his past. That is what I do. But I do wish him the best. And I hope that he can come out of that regret, face whatever it is, so he could be transformed. And most of all, I hope that he's able to forgive himself.
Yes.
No matter how this thing is. You were a victim, Usher.
Mm-hmm.
You were a victim. And however you treated Justin, it's just a reflection of where you came from.
Yes.
And how you was treated. Forgive yourself. Find a faith or something you can believe in that's bigger than yourself, that you can trust in. That's all I got. I just feel very heavy. This is a very, very heavy spread. It really is. And I think that a lot of it is all of it, from every angle, from the mental head, from the present to the very foundation he walks on, is tormented by his past. And with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this reading on Usher. My heart goes out to him because he's carrying a lot in his head. And sooner or later, if it's not dealt with, keeping up facades, working at a career, maybe he's just waiting for the day. But his career means more to him than anything at this moment, and rightfully so. He gave up a lot for it. He suffered for it. And whatever's going on with him and Justin Bieber, they both been taken advantage of, unfortunately. This is what it is. And with that being said, again, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Put her name across, please. And I hope you enjoyed this reading. April, who did our front page. What is it called?
An intro.
Our intro. I'm supporting her. She does good work. So please, even if you just call her just text her or send her an email, she will get back in contact with you. And she would be ever so grateful, as I am. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this reading on Usher.
I did.
This is a lot. He's dealing with a lot. His past, you know how maybe he needs therapy. His past, like I said, you need some place where you can vent, some place where you can say his past is haunting him. He can't get over it. He puts on a good show, but I'm talking about a good show and hiding it. But the past is right there because the death card is staring him right in the face with regret. And I leave you with that. So prayers going up for Usher, that he could be free from all of this one day. But it's up to Usher. He has to make the choice. And with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this reading. I know I did. It is a heavy read, but it is what it is. And I read what I saw. And as I said, this is a reading off the cuff. And with that being said, sunflowers.